Right, we should be live any second.
It's a pity we can't do a countdown.
Right, we are live.
Woo woo! Yay! Hurrah for lives. Are we there? Yay! Sunday afternoon. Howdy doody. How is everyone a Sunday afternoon, eh?
I'm pretty good. I've been going through my yarn and found some extra bits of colours that I needed for my Dune blanket.
Excellent.
About that. And then I had a little read last night of my
Colour book.
little book of colour.
Anything interesting?
It was quite interesting. I'm going to do some blogs on it.
Oh, excellent.
And I was going through my sort of go-to Slimming World recipe book, which, as you'll see, has lots of post-it notes for the things that I'm interested in.
Got that, yeah.
Like dirty Cajun rice and things like that.
Very nice.
I think I'm about to start a bit of blue.
Oh, I don't know anyone who likes blue.
No, I can't think of anybody who likes blue at all. What have we got? Oh, actually, no, it's a bit of green.
All right, green second best.
Yeah, sage, I think.
Very nice. Oh, wise one. Is that why Yoda's green?
It could be that, yeah. Or he could just be pathologically jealous of everyone.
Like, what was her name? Elibar, oh, I can't remember how you say her name. You know the one out of Wicked. What's her name?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Oh, her name is something like Elithabar or Elphaba, something like that. Yeah, that's her actual name. Not just the Wicked Witch of the West.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to?
Cleaning. I don't know what's gone wrong. There's something wrong with me. I've been cleaning this weekend. Not only did I pull out my bedside cabinet and clean behind that yesterday, but when my telly is in my bedroom, I've got like a table with a drawer and I've had everything out and I've dusted and I've sorted and, you know, underneath the table. Oh, I know, honestly, there's something wrong. I mean, I know I didn't want to cut the grass, but this is just a bridge too far, really, isn't it? It's just, you know, trying to get away with not doing one job by doing another job. There's something wrong. So anyway, I've been doing that. I've been on my flute. I've been practicing my embouchure.
Is that the face thing?
So you have to move your chin in and out as to whether, because your keys are the same, your fingers are all the same, but depending on how you blow and where you put your airstream depends on which octave you get.
I'm gonna nod like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so
it's a foreign language to me. I have to admit.
So I was zipping along quite lovely in this octave, you know, my 8 keys. I'm doing A, B, C, and G, and and getting all those lovely notes. And then suddenly my book says, right, you're going to do this E down here, and you're going to do this E up here, and they're both the same finger. And I'm like, well, how does that work then? Because coming from somebody who played the clarinet, it's like the recorder. All the work is done by where you're covering your holes and what keys you're pressing, and you've got all these different keys to press with your fingers and little levers
that
sticking
makes
out.
sense. Having watched Jake play the oboe and having been forced to play recorder as a child.
So it's all that, isn't it?
Descant recorder.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's all that. Well, now I remember actually when I was doing it this morning. I remember I went to school and my best friend, she used to play the piano, but she also played the cornet. And I used to say to her, "How do you get all those different notes? You've only got 3 keys." Being a clarinet player, it just didn't make any sense to me. And she said, "It's all in the mouth." Well, now I know.
There's a moose loose about this house.
That's the one. So I can actually get a high E now. Well, actually, I think it's a middle E. I think I'm going to have to go even higher at some point, which is like really scary to me. Yesterday, I just got a like a squeak, like the flute's going, no. Okay. And then today I did actually get something that sounded quite like a note. So that's fine. So we have progress.
Hopeful then.
So yes, I've been doing that. I have been working on my blanket. I'm nearly there. I've decided what I'm going to do now is do a few decreases and kind of round it a little bit before I cast it off. Okay, so I've just got to the point. I was just starting to put in my little markers to do my decreases, so I've only got one in at the minute there.
Right.
So I'll have to leave that because I'll need to count to put them in. But I've done like about that much.
Ooh.
I'm going to decrease it a little bit. Only going to do like maybe 2 or 3, not many, and then I'm going to graft the stitches together. So it will be finished tonight. And then I think what I might do with the top, I think rather than sew the whole thing down, and I haven't put any buttonholes in, so I can't do that. What I might do is tack it in a couple of places and say to her, right, that's like tacked at the back and the 2 front bits, so that's fine for while the baby's little, but when you want it bigger because the baby's grown, just take the little tack out and then it can be.
Why don't you do a few crochet chain and add a little button?
Because that involves a hook and I'm not so good at things like that.
You're not much of a hooker?
I am not, no. I've tried it and I didn't like it.
No, okay.
No, I am all right. I have done on one of my patterns, I did a scarf where I decided to add a button and I did a little hook thingy, little crochet hook buttonhole thingy, but
it's not your natural thing.
I just really struggled with it. So I think it'll be fine. I'll just tack it, see what it looks like, see how I feel, and then, you know, maybe rethink it. But I think it'll be all right with just, you know, one at the back and one each end.
Yeah.
Because it's going to go, well, the baby's going to be laying on it anyway.
Oh, well.
So hopefully I'll be able to show a faux soon. I just need some buttons. So yeah, that's my busy day.
Awesome.
I hear you've been working out and all sorts on a Sunday.
I know, I got up and I just had my breakfast, did a bit of laundry and other jobs and thought, I'm going to do a workout. So I did the same one I did yesterday, 30 minutes. She calls it power walking, and you do build up quite a sweat, I have to say, with the extra arm movements and other things going on. You are a sweaty mess at the end of it. But whenever she sort of brought it back to power walk, which is sort of the nearest you get to a rest in that particular workout, I just jogged up and down the living room.
Cool.
So I thought I'd got 19 minutes at peak, but according to the Fitbit, I did over 20.
Ooh,
so
well done.
or something like that. So that was quite good. But I had a funny little spike in my blood pressure yesterday.
Oh.
My heart rate. The Fitbit made a funny noise.
Yeah.
I'd been in the kitchen. Jake bought some peanuts, like chili roasted peanuts or something like that.
Yeah.
And apparently he thought they had some sort of crispy coating on them as opposed to just a spicy coating.
Right.
I don't really buy that kind of peanut, so I just nodded. He doesn't like them.
All right.
I just picked, 3 or 4 of these peanuts and then went and sat down, and this thing starts beeping. And I thought, what's up with it? So I'm scrolling through the numbers on it to see what's going on. And my heart rate had shot up to 192. So I'm assuming it's the peanuts or something that's on the peanut.
That's not good.
Because within about a minute, it was back down to normal and absolutely fine since.
So you don't fancy having some more just to double check the theory?
Well, I had some about 10 minutes ago. I just took a couple and thought, I wonder if that'll spike, but nothing. Says I'm in fat burn mode.
Oh, excellent.
So, who knows?
Sounds good. I like fat burn mode.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. I do seem to be in that most of the day, as long as I remember to do my workout. But there was quite an interesting article on the Fitbit website about how collectively a lot of people's resting heart rate has dropped because they're not commuting and they haven't got that sort of stress. But of those people, they are still moving quite a lot, but where they're not running around the train station or dashing to get on or off the tube or the bus or whatever, they're normal walking. They're going out for an hour solid to get their mandated exercise. And their resting heart rate has dropped. I think it's about 3 to 5 points as an average.
Yeah.
But where people are sitting a lot more and not making up that movement and not exercising, their heart rates have gone up, which obviously is more of a risk for heart attacks and strokes and other not good things.
My resting heart rate's usually 66.
Do you know, I don't think I've ever been that low.
It's currently 70. Hmm. 66, yeah, normally, roughly.
Yeah, Mike's is around that rate, but mine has never been that low. If I get mine into the 70s, I'm happy. And my doctor is ecstatic that at the moment it varies between about 79 and 84.
Oh, it's now currently 67.
But several years ago, it was 120 all the time.
Your resting heart rate was that as well?
Yeah, I was tachycardic all the time.
Oh, yeah, no wonder your doctor
And
wasn't
I've been
very
like that
happy.
for decades and they couldn't figure out what it was. So I cleaned up my diet quite a bit and eliminated some stuff.
Yeah.
And I made sure I exercised every day and I started walking more, and that seems to have sorted it out. I make sure I have my porridge about 3 or 4 times a week. Sometimes I have a couple of breakfast bars or something if I'm on the go somewhere, but that's pretty unusual at the minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just interesting how all these little things combine.
Well, I was thinking there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to be healthier by the end of this because they are going out for an hour and they are having a walk. There's a guy and his wife who live, they're kind of next door but across the road from me. And she's been going out for a walk every single day. And she must have just in the last week or so encouraged her husband, because I've seen him go with her. And he's a big guy, bless him. He is overweight. And I saw him yesterday and they weren't walking fast. They were just having they were just having a nice little stroll. It wasn't boiling hot, but he was, bless him, he was red in the face. He was sweating. He'd clearly taken his coat off and he was very warm. But that just goes to show how hard he's working, which is brilliant. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I keep looking at this peak heart rate and I don't know whether I'm getting it as well because I'm unfit compared to what I should be.
Right.
I don't know.
I
But
don't
we'll
know.
see.
I know that I don't, sometimes I have to really talk to myself to do my exercise. Like I said yesterday, it was tough love. I was like, you are going to do this run. You don't want to do it, but you are going to do it. And I always feel so much better when I get back in. I think it's a combination of the exercise itself, the fresh air, the sunshine. I do like being outside. I do like the blue sky and the green trees and everything.
Yeah.
Just makes me feel much nicer. But even being on the treadmill really does feel much better afterwards. I don't want to do it. I'd rather sit on my bum and knit and watch the telly, or, you know, play on my iPad or scroll through Facebook and waste an hour and wonder where it's gone.
Yeah.
But you do feel so much better when you've done it.
Absolutely. It's you know, it lifts your attitude. You get those feel good endorphins, you know.
And especially when the weather's nice. I mean, it's been pretty miserable here today, but on the whole, it's generally nice at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, so, we've got a whole week at least of lovely weather. 16 and 17 midweek. And then it says a chance of rain on Friday for VE Day when people want to, well, it's not street parties. It's a party in your own front garden.
Yeah,
or on the street outside your house with so many meters against you, you know, between you. And no swapping seats or any of the rest of it. You stay
I don't know if anybody around our way is going to do it, to be honest.
I think there are people on St Mary's Garth, which is the little street behind us, who were talking about it. And quite a few people in the village have been distributing on Facebook or leaflets of the sort of poster thing that says 11 o'clock for the silence and 3 o'clock for Winston's speech. And then afternoon tea outdoors at 4, and then I think 6 o'clock it's dinner outdoors with your neighbours, it says.
Cool.
And if Mike's here, we'd be having breakfast out front.
Yeah.
We'd have lunch out there, we'd have dinner out there, we would sit and drink wine and stuff like that up until the point where somebody wanted to watch the telly or got cold. And then we come back in, you know, it really is like an extra room in the summer.
Yeah. It's not quite like that round here. People don't sit in their front gardens.
Oh, we're common, we do.
Yeah, people sit out the back.
I mean, I do sit out the back in the morning when it gets the sun, but when the sun comes around the front,
I was going to say, it depends where you get your sun, doesn't it? My garden is south facing. I'm very lucky. So it gets the sun all day long. It's not so good. The fact that we've got proper old-fashioned wooden, it's double glazed, but it's still wooden framed doors and windows, and it just burns the varnish off within days of you putting it on. It's highly annoying. But, you know, pros and cons, ups and downs. You got to take the rough with the smooth, haven't you?
Yeah, I was chatting to Sally Cowl earlier.
Oh yeah.
Got a post asking what people are making today and what are they up to.
Yeah.
And she's got the Attic 24 Moorland pack, which is purples and greens.
Ooh.
Purples and mossy colours. It's absolutely stunning. But she's thinking it's like a wavy pattern.
Right.
It's not a standard sort of ripple.
Right.
And if you're kind of new to crochet, it's not one I would want to do. It would annoy the hell out of me.
Right.
And I crochet quite a bit. But
so not one for me then.
I did a little swatch and just thought, yeah, it's doing my head in. So she's probably going to do this June seashells pattern that I'm working on, or a granny stripe or something like that. But whatever she does, the colours, I mean, they're amazing. plummy purples and grey colour. It's got this pistachio green. I think there's lime in there, and meadow, and just sort of cycles through the greens and the purples. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Sounds lovely.
I really like it.
Hmm.
I dithered over the pack whether I should get it, and then I thought, But it's hard to get the colour packs at the moment. To be honest, well, to actually just pick your colours and make up your own pack, and then let them pick them and deliver it.
Right.
Or go through what you've got in stash and say, right, I need these other ones.
And just add to it, yeah.
Yeah, because I think like Wool Warehouse are just really struggling because everybody wants kits and colour packs at the minute. Unless they've got smaller projects in mind or they want extra for this, or,
I think also with these online businesses, everything's all right at the moment while they've got things in stock and they're getting it out, no problem. It's getting the stock back in again, isn't it? I mean, and it's not just things like wool, it's everything. Caitlin is desperate for a new hairbrush. All of our bristles have decided that they've given up the ghost now. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been looking every time I've gone to the supermarket or when I went into Boots the other day. Nobody's got any hairbrushes.
No.
So once things are selling out, that's it. There's no more stock coming.
Well, it'd be like that for some things for quite a while.
I know. So she's going to have dreadlocks by the time she's done. It's a good job she's got an undercut now, actually. Otherwise, she really would have proper dreads under there. She'll be all right. I'll just shave it all off. It'll be fine. I'll do a mohawk.
Do it while she sleeps. Let her wake up to such a lovely surprise.
Well, she was saying to me yesterday she wants to have undercut redoing, and it is gradually getting like higher and higher and higher. It started as a little triangle right at the base of the back, and now it's sort of like ear height. So from there down, she's got no hair, and it's just creeping up and up and up. Mainly because I'm not so good with the clippers, and while I try and straighten the line up, it just creeps higher.
Yeah.
But I did say to her, actually, I said if they do keep the hairdressers closed for the next 6 months before they're open again, I might let her loose with a pair of scissors on my hair just to give it a little trim. I said, she's not going radical on it, but I will let her give it a little trim, and then when the hairdresser's open, I'll go and get it sorted out properly. Which she was quite excited about, but who knows what will happen, eh?
Yeah, just keep an eye on whether she's got scissors or clippers in her hand. I'm just going to message Jake and ask him to come down and check the barbecue.
Oh, yeah. Make sure it's still all okay. Yeah. So, what are you going to put on your barbecue?
Oh, he messaged at 3 to say, can you light it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Good job you already did.
Good job I have no patience.
Yeah.
I might have to go out and check it. But I made with fat-free yogurt and some tandoori spice and some garlic and a bit of lemon, like a marinade, and defrosted some chicken and cut that into chunks and put that in the marinade. It's been sat in that.
Sounds yummy.
And I've got some skewers, wooden skewers in the sink, soaking, ready for kebabs. I've got some courgette. I've got some jarred peppers that I need him to open the jar because I can't get the damn lid off.
Nightmare.
And I was just going to slice those peppers and slice the courgettes and just see how I got on with it. And we've got some of the Aldi skinny beef burgers, the quarter pounders, which are really nice.
I was going to ask you actually, because I was thinking about trying Aldi, but I'm not sure. What's their gluten-free, dairy-free range like?
It varies because you have to look around the whole store. Very often it's hidden.
All right, so they don't have
and things like that. They do have a section. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's an aisle.
Oh, right, okay.
And it has marinades and sauces and whatever special buy they've got going on. There's biscuits and cakes and things. Sometimes they have bread, other times they don't.
Right. So I might be better waiting and not maybe going to Aldi just yet, and maybe going somewhere, because I need quite a bit of stuff. You know, I'll need pasta, I will need rice.
Yeah.
I will need oats, I will need oat milk.
Yeah, I've never got any gluten-free pasta or anything like that at Aldi.
So I might be better off just going to Tesco at the moment.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, I don't particularly want to go to two shops if I can get away with it.
Yeah.
I want to one shop, get it done and get home. When they start easing restrictions and, you know, maybe the rates aren't going up, then maybe I'll go one day to one shop, one day to another shop. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
at the moment, I really, really want to just restrict my time in public places like that.
Well, I don't blame you.
So I think I'll just stick with Tesco at the moment. The best place I've ever been to is Morrison's at Gisborough, which is like a 20-minute drive away. They not only have a big section in the aisle, it's a good half an aisle full length, plus 2 freezers full of just free from stuff all together. Unbelievable. You could get everything and anything. We went in there and I was looking for I wanted some bread and I wanted maybe a treat, you know, like an after dinner treat. I spent 20 minutes trying to decide on the cake because there was just so much choice. Normally I'd go in and I go, oh well, I'll have to have that one because there's 2 and I'm not so keen on that one.
They've got. Yeah.
Whereas this time I was like, oh my goodness, how do I decide which I want?
Yeah, it really does vary from one supermarket to the other.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. What are you doing now?
I think that's spearmint.
Nice. I like that one. I don't know why I always think of soft mints when you talk about spearmint.
Oh no. Embedded connection to food.
So you remembered what you watched the other night then?
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Which one is that?
It's the last one. It's got a couple of different titles depending on where you watched it. It was released as Salazar's Revenge here.
Right.
But in the States, it's called Dead Men Don't Talk or something like that.
I never saw it.
It's Javier Bardem, who's the baddie, who was a baddie in one of the James Bonds, Skyfall maybe.
Did it still have Johnny Depp in it?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Keira Knightley's in it at the end.
Oh, because she hasn't been in a few, has she?
Was she in it at the very beginning?
Yeah, but like there was a couple of movies. I think she was in the first 2, and Orlando Bloom was in the first 2, and then they weren't in the third, were they, or something?
I think one of them wasn't other than a cameo.
Right.
Excuse me, I don't know where that's coming from.
You just took a bit of a funny breath, I think.
Maybe. Anyway, might be the barbecue.
Oh yeah, catching in your breath. Yeah, because I've seen the first 2, and I think because they weren't maybe in them, I haven't seen any of the others. I think that kind of put me off.
In the final one.
Right. Okay.
She's in at the beginning in sort of a recap.
Right.
And then she's at the end where there is a nice ending.
Yeah.
And Orlando Bloom is in it a couple of times through the story, but not really very much. I think they were just trying to sort of wrap up the story with that one.
Right. Because
Jack's in all of them because Jack just is. And I like Hector Barbosa. I think he's great. Jeffrey Rush.
The second one was my favourite one, with Davy
Jones' Locker.
Yeah.
That Dead Man's Chest.
Dead Man's Chest. I really liked that because I liked him. I mean, obviously, I really liked the first one. I thought the chemistry between all three of them was brilliant. And it was just such a different story. I just absolutely loved Captain Jack. But I think that, yeah, the baddie, he just brought something extra. It was Bill Nighy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I absolutely love Bill Nighy. He's a brilliant actor.
He is really good.
So yeah, I haven't seen any after that. Caitlin, when she was little, when she was about 5, used to have a pair of pajamas that said "I love Captain Jack." She loved those pajamas. She was devastated when they got too small for her. Bless her.
Oh,
I know. Yeah, we used to like watching that. I watched, well, Caitlin and I actually watched series 1, most of series 1 of Liar, that's been on ITV. Did you see it?
No.
I think it was on a year or 2 years ago. It's got Joanne Froggatt in it from Downton Abbey. And
Who did she play in that?
She plays Laura something or other. She's a school teacher, and it's got, what's he, I don't even know how to say his name. Is it like Ewan Griffin or something? The guy that plays Mr. Fantastic at the Fantastic Four. You know the one I mean?
Yeah.
And he's a doctor, and they go out on a date, and everything's hunky-dory, and then next day he sends her a text, and he's like, "Oh, fantastic night, really enjoyed myself, can't wait to see you again soon." And she goes to the police and says that he raped her. So it is basically, you know, who's telling the truth? Because he is saying it was consensual. She, you know, she didn't say stop. She didn't ask me to stop. Nothing was said. And she's saying that she didn't want to do it, basically. And it's like, who is, one of them's lying, who is lying, which one?
Right.
So Caitlin and I were watching that last night. It was really, really good. I mean, I've seen series 1 before. And I put it on because I wanted to watch series 2. It's only got 4 days left on the BBC iPlayer, and series 1's on BritBox.
Right.
Caitlin hadn't seen it, so we put series 1 on, and she's quite enjoying it actually. So hopefully we'll watch the end of that tonight, and then maybe start series 2. It's quite nice. It's a nice cheery thing to watch, you know.
Yeah, I think the subject matter for me, yeah.
To be fair, I mean, it was really good, because I mean, I said to her, I said, you know, at the end of the day, he's saying that he's done nothing wrong. However, from my point of view, he has, because he's saying she didn't ask me to stop. And I said, that's not the same as consenting. Do you know what I mean? Where she's,
well, legally it is.
I know, but what we need to teach our children is, it should be explicit one way or another.
You should like the cup of tea analogy. If your friend was unconscious on the sofa, you wouldn't pour tea down their neck. So it's not okay to assume that they want to engage in sexual activity just because they can't tell you no.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I would take it one step further. I would say to Callum, always ask, always get a yes.
Yeah.
You know, don't assume anything.
What's the rule, Jake? With regards to sex, what have I told you since you were about 5? You not remember the rule? Always a condom, always a condom, always a condom, and no means bloody no whenever it's said.
And like I say, I would go so far as to say, just because it's not a no doesn't mean it's a yes.
Well, no, it doesn't. And it's the culture change. And I think the thing we have to change in the legal system is the examination of the accuser's sexual behaviour to try and discredit them, when the reality is what we need to look at is the evidence of the case at hand. Now, if someone has falsely accused 20 different people, that should never be going before a court.
Definitely.
It just shouldn't, because it's been proven one way or the other, or the case has collapsed, or whatever. And it is really difficult.
It is
exceptionally difficult. But culturally, we need to stop victim blaming and shaming.
Yes.
And I don't think that we should be naming anyone who's accused.
No, because it's innocent until proven guilty, not innocent until charged.
Well, exactly. And the thing is, you get someone who's perhaps got a grudge from times gone by, and all of a sudden there's a pile of people who leap on. And it's a bit like the Operation U-Tree, where that guy's ended up going to jail, where he claimed there was this massive paedophile ring and claims to have been assaulted by all of these people, some of them now, sadly, who are dead and can't defend themselves.
It was an MP or something, wasn't there?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know whether they did or whether they didn't, but the thing is, if you wait until after someone's dead, you've not allowed anybody legal process, and you've certainly not helped your own cause. And I seriously worry about cases like that, where someone is now dead and people leap forward and claim this and claim that. And how much of it is cashing in and how much of it is actually true, and how do you prove it? When someone has got no opportunity, and people like Matthew Kelly, where he was falsely accused, and it ruined his career.
Well, you never hear from him, do you?
Absolutely ruined his career. And the other one that's really suffered as well is Cliff Richard.
I was going to say Cliff Richard.
Yeah, and the way that BBC behaved was just despicable.
Did they have a helicopter over his house or something?
Well, they had a helicopter over his house, and they had cameras in his house while the police were searching.
Did they? That's shocking.
They were on the property.
That is shocking.
I'm sorry, but that's just disgusting.
I think he won his legal battle against them, didn't he?
Oh, he did. He got a hodder compensation and donated it straight to charity, bless him.
Yeah, but everybody will have seen the really exciting news of helicopters on Cliff Richard's house and, police searching and blah, blah, blah. But nobody's really interested in, oh, actually, he got cleared. Nobody really watches that stuff, do they?
Well, no, and if you take the case, I don't know if you remember it, do you know a few years ago where that girl was killed over Christmas? Raped and murdered, I think. And the press fixated on the landlord. Now, he was an odd-looking man.
Yes, they made a TV programme about it.
Yeah, they did, and it was fascinating to watch.
He was brilliant.
Was a towering performance.
What was his name, that actor?
Oh, he's the one out of Trolleyed. I can't think of his name. Yeah.
Actually brilliant in that. Yeah, really, really good. I did see it.
Yeah, but look at how the press and, quite frankly, the public jumped upon that and vilified this poor man.
Well, he was on the spectrum, so obviously he was acting weird. Poor guy.
And the thing is, there was someone who'd been convicted of similar crimes living in the wretched house.
Yeah.
In another room. Oh, would there be a suspect? Do you know, the whole thing was a shambles. It was an absolute disgrace. Right, I'm going to sneak out the back and quickly check the barbecue. And we'll be back shortly.
I'll be back. Like Annie. I'm just knitting on my behind the green door. I'm not finished. I don't know where my grey is coming in. I'm on a light blue at the minute. I've had a dark blue and then a bright blue, and then it will go to this grey again when it comes up here. So that'll go like that together. But it's looking nice. I want it much, much longer. So I think it's going to be really, really lovely in the winter. The longer the better. I don't think you can have it too long. So what's everyone been up to? Everybody been having a lovely Sunday? I think I'm on my own. I don't think anyone's watching. 2, 3, then 1, 2. So just had to have a little count, see where I was. Very jealous of Loraine having a barbecue. Anybody else having a barbecue on this Sunday afternoon? We haven't got the weather for barbecues. It's either been raining or trying to rain all day long, and it's been cold. Lorraine's got the sun, so she can have a nice barbie. Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Well, not for me. I'm allergic. But...
Well, you are, but I'm not. I love a shrimp.
I do love shrimps. They just don't like me.
It's rude, isn't it? All this food that I love that doesn't love me, and the same with you. I mean, yeah. What's wrong with, sharing the love? Why does it have to be so nasty back?
I don't know. It's just pig ignorant, isn't it?
I've been showing off my behind the green.
Oh, yes.
So I'm still on the blue. I haven't got back to the grey yet.
How long is it now, roughly?
I don't know. That long? Like almost as wide as I could open my arms. That long?
Are you going to go twice round? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to still keep going. It's not long enough yet. Apart from anything, I just quite enjoy having it there to pick up and put down.
I spoke to Jackie on WhatsApp this morning. She's been knitting some socks.
Yeah.
Christmas present for her son-in-law.
Yeah.
It's 10 feet.
Oof.
I know.
Those seem to go on forever.
And I think it's an opal sock yarn called Popcorn. It's got red and orange and sort of fire colours and things.
Right.
Like brown and things like that. Quite earthy. It looks quite nice.
That just makes me think of those characters in Labyrinth. Do you remember the fire ones that could take their heads off and they threw them and kicked them about?
Yeah. Goodness, that's a long time ago.
I can't remember what they were called, but you were talking about like the reds and the oranges and stuff. They just popped into my head.
Oh, well, the barbecue's lit. I've just taken the lid off.
Excellent.
And the coals are starting to grey up a bit. Not as much as I would like. So I've taken the lid off so that it gets some air at it, and we'll see what happens next.
So it's almost ready for cooking time.
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
No. Each coal has a bit of grey.
All right.
But predominantly black. I think there's a ways to go yet. Whether that's because I've had the lid on partially and I was more bothered about if there was a breeze that it might blow it out.
Right.
But it probably needs the air to get it going. I don't know. Not an expert on these things. I should have bought a gas barbecue. That's what
I've got a gas barbecue, which is why I know absolutely nothing at all about coals and stuff.
And I stink now. Stink of barbecue.
Well, even with the gas,
an old top on. I've got yesterday's top on because I'm putting something clean on to then be nipping in and out.
I'm the same with any kind of cooking though, even just cooking the dinner in my oven. I hate it. I hate getting the smell of cooking on me because it just goes really stale and horrible very quickly, and then you just, every time you move you get a bit of a whiff of it, don't you? I'm funny like that. I use it as an excuse to make my husband cook all the time. I say to him, "Oh, go on, you cook," because I'm wearing my really nice clothes.
Well, it's only fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've just taken the lid off it. Well, I don't know whether it needs more air or not. I'm not an expert on these things.
I'm sure there'll be a YouTube video about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was the instructions on the Daily Mirror website, I think, which basically said put scrunched up newspaper underneath it and light that, and then put your grill over the top and put your coals on that.
Right.
And light the newspaper, and then spray some lighter fluid onto the coals. It seems to be slowly working, but Jake's out there now, so he can do his thing with it.
Men are here. We make fire.
Yeah, man stuff.
Yeah.
Not really my probo.
No, definitely not. I'm going to have a square of chocolate. I don't know why, but I just fancy it.
Which one you having? Is it
Just my Morrison Savers cheapy chocolate. Do like this stuff. So yeah, I don't know what came across me doing some tidying up of all things this morning. I mean, goodness me.
Oh well. Hopefully.
I was going to say,
check your temperature?
No, because I don't know if my thermometer's working, to be perfectly honest.
I've got one of those armpit ones.
I've got a digital one from Boots that you're supposed to stick under your tongue. But whenever I take my temperature, it always says that I'm like 35 degrees or something, and I thought humans were supposed to be 36.
Yeah, mine always measures around something like that, and I'm thinking that can't be right.
Yeah, I thought.
But when I used it the other week when I was poorly, I thought, okay, and then it kept coming up with battery low. So whether it's just not reading properly, I thought maybe it's time to get a new one.
But you can't get one.
No, can't get them for love nor money.
No, not at all. I do have a cooking one.
See, all right.
Do you reckon it would work under the armpit or something? You might not want to put it in your chicken afterwards, but...
No, because it's set for a different temperature range.
Yeah. That's disappointing.
Excuse me.
It's definitely the smoke, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I did debate about whether I should get another thermometer, but to be honest, watching my heart rate has been the interesting thing, because when I started with symptoms of COVID and felt ill for that couple of weeks, my heart rate dropped to around about 68, which is unheard of for me.
Right.
So the sheer fact that it was that low tells me that there was something going on.
Whereas for somebody else, maybe it would speed up. I suppose everybody's symptoms like that are different, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's interesting that they were saying that immunosuppressant medication and antihistamines and things like that, that they were really worried would be an issue with this because it suppresses your immune system and it could rampantly sort of take over and quietly kill you without you noticing it. It seems to be that, and they need to do more testing of this, but what they're saying at the moment is that they're now thinking that because it stops this very violent reaction by the immune system, that it actually may prevent some of the more extreme symptoms and that you may develop antibodies just on a lower level without ever actually getting as sick because your body's sort of going, oh, okay, yeah. I think there's something here. We'll have a look at it in a minute.
Dr. Hillary said that you should still take your antihistamines and things. He said it's like a different.
Yeah, I'm still taking mine. Generally, this time of year, I would probably be on 2 a day, to be honest. But I'm just taking the one at night, and I'm using the nasal spray morning and night. And
did you? I was just going to ask, did you read anything about nicotine while you were doing all your little readies? Have you read anything about that?
Somebody said about nicotine patches.
I remember, like I said the other week, that they've stopped selling them in France because they think that nicotine might do something, might be some kind of help or something, and that they might need them in a medicinal way. I just know what I've seen and read, and I don't know the full story. It's definitely not the full story, but it's basically nicotine is somehow helping people not catch it or something, but if you do catch it, then you are affected worse because of your lungs are compromised because of the smoking.
Yeah.
So it's kind of counteracting each other in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the full story is, but I'm not a smoker anyway. So
no, none of us smoke.
No, we don't smoke. Phil doesn't smoke. His best mate Bert does, but he's really, really poorly anyway. He's got heart issues and all sorts.
All right.
Not good.
So there's not really much point in giving up the smoking, is there?
He should give up the smoking. He's got something in his heart, some device.
Maybe he might be at the stage where it won't actually make any difference. It'll just make him miserable.
I don't know. The doctor told him to give up. He's also told him to lose a lot of weight as well, but he hasn't done either of those.
Well, addiction. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. Now's not the time to be giving up smoking, is it, to be honest?
Unless you've got a tremendous amount of willpower, and you can't actually get to the shop, so you've got no choice but to give up. I wouldn't choose this as the time to do it. I wouldn't have thought it was the best point to be doing it.
Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't be on my radar of things to do at the moment. And it would interfere. Sorry?
I was just gonna start asking about your blanket.
All right.
I was just going to ask if it's your only thing that you've got going at the minute. That you're actually physically working on, shall we say?
I'm actually physically working on. Yes.
Cool. I'm sure we did have a conversation about a baby cardigan.
Yeah.
Did we decide today was not the day for that?
We did decide that.
That's fine.
I did look at yarns and colours, and I've got a bucket, one of these craft bucket things.
So you showed me 3 colours.
I did, but I found some other colours. I found some egg blue, and there's plum and grape, and there's lapis blue, which is quite a deep inky purpley blue, and a few other colours that are left over from Rosie's blanket that I made up when she went to university. The garden route blanket. Yeah, left over from that.
Oh, gorgeous. What's next?
Lincoln, I think.
Why do I want to sing Robin Hood?
I know. But
Robin Hood.
It's still not Robin Hoodie, is it?
That is not Robin Hood. Robin Hood with his band of men. What's the next bit? Shoo-doo-be-doo. But I don't know. I know the tune, but I don't know what the words are. Robin Hood, Robin Hood, Robin Hood. Is that the one?
Something like that, yeah.
Do you know that song, or have I just absolutely killed it to the point that nobody can recognise it?
Richard Green's era as Robin Hood.
Not Errol Flynn. Was Errol Flynn Robin Hood?
Oh, possibly. But
I could have made that up. You know what I'm like. I'll just make anything up. It's fine. Yeah. Orlando Bloom was Robin Hood.
Yeah, Richard Green was Robin Hood in the TV series that's from.
Do you remember the other one? It was on the BBC in the 90s, and Robin Hood was really quite sexy.
Oh, yeah, Michael Braid. Yeah.
Why do I remember all these weird tunes?
Well, it was Plannard who did all the music.
I loved that Robin Hood.
It was very good. I think they spoiled it for me when Michael Braid left to join the cast, I think, of Innisfree or Falcon Crest or one of those kind of shows. There's like the Crown Prince of Moldova or somewhere. He went off to do that, and he was quite dark-haired,
Right.
and very earthy looking. And
Yeah.
then placed him with Jason Connery, who was blonde and about as pale as you could get.
Yeah.
So yeah, from that point on, I was like, okay,
Because I used
don't
to,
fancy Robin anymore.
I mean, it was obviously in my teenage years of the time when you used to have to watch programs when they were on the TV, or if
Yeah,
you were, you might be allowed to record it. And I used to have a teenage crush on Robin Hood. I used to get quite excited on a Saturday evening
I
to sit
did
down
like
and watch that.
Fred. I wonder how old he is now.
Come on, let's have some Google foo, find out for us. That
Oh, he's 60. Do you want to see a photograph?
yeah, come on then.
Okay, let me share screen.
Am I going to be really sad? Oh wow.
But when you compare to that, love that hair.
That's not even who I remember. Was there another Robin Hood on the BBC?
Yes.
I'm thinking of someone else. I can hear the music. Robin, do 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 do. Yes, no, it wasn't him. It definitely wasn't him. It was in the 90s. It's not him. Definitely not him. I'm sure that version of Robin Hood was on Amazon or Netflix or something quite recently. It was on the BBC. That one there. I'm pointing at it and you can't see it.
Which
over,
one?
over one more. No, you're on.
Which way?
You were on the right. You need to come down one row, right? And right now, go back up. Right, you're on. See, you're on Kevin Costner there with his horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one next to Kevin Costner that's not. That's him. That's him. It was in the 2000s. Oh wow, I thought it was in the 90s. That's definitely him. Who is he? That's Anna Frio. Arthur.
Jonas Armstrong.
Whoever he is, that's him. He's cute.
Oh, that isn't. I don't even remember seeing that. So there you are.
Yeah, I remember that series. I've had to just shut my dog out because he was barking at somebody. Stop it. Naughty. I think that was on Amazon or something quite recently.
I don't remember seeing that one. And he doesn't look like much of a Robin Hood to me. But
Well, I think Robin Hood would have had longer hair, to be fair.
possibly.
He wouldn't have been bothered with having haircuts and stuff. No. And he probably would have had a beard. It's just my opinion.
Did you see the one with Taron Egerton?
I didn't. Rocket Man?
Yeah.
No, when was that?
I watched it last year, I think, on Netflix.
Any good? No. He's very hit and miss, I think, as an actor.
I think he played a good enough part. I think it was just an insipid plot, and they were trying to make it modern, but not modern, and
it just didn't work.
A bit hard to kind of guess what they were aiming for.
Right. Okay, I'm with you.
And Marion was really annoying. Just wanted to bitch slap her. Just, yeah.
See, Marion should be a strong woman. She doesn't need a man to come and save her. She stands up to the sheriff.
She's married to someone else in this one.
No, that's just wrong. That's shocking. Sorry.
I didn't like it at all.
Well, I wouldn't have liked it.
I got to the end of it and thought, yeah, there's 2 hours I'm never going to get back.
So
but you know how it is.
Very disappointing.
One of those things. What can you do?
Well, you can't do anything other than, you know.
Yeah, I much prefer Robin Hood Men in Tights with Carrie.
Elle was.
Elves, yeah, from The Princess Bride.
That's one of Caitlin and mine's favourite movies.
As you wish.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah,
my name is
Inigo Montoya. You killed my father, prepared to die.
Let me explain. No, it's too much. Let me sum up. I do absolutely love that movie. It's such a classic.
I love Billy Crystal in it.
Oh, Billy Crystal's brilliant. You just wouldn't know.
Not fully dead, he's just a bit dead. He's just... Andre the Giant.
Oh, it's so sad that he died, didn't he? He died quite young.
Mm.
Yeah, I liked Andre the Giant. Brilliant. What have I done there? I don't even know what I've done there. Yeah, that is one of our favorite. We do like 80s movies in this house. Labyrinth, The Lost Boys, Highlander.
Yeah, scary though, Lost Boys.
Yeah, definitely. I do like it though. Caitlin likes it. When
I think the thing with Lost Boys is when you realise is Donald Sutherland in it as well as Keith.
Yeah.
And when you kind of realise that actually he's controlling it all and he's the real baddie.
Oh no, Donald Sutherland's not in it, I don't think.
Is he? I thought he was somebody in a shop or something like that.
No, that's
he's helping them.
That's someone else. I don't know what the actor is called, but that's not Donald Sutherland. No, yeah, but he is the big one.
Yeah, and it feels like a real betrayal of trust. They've kind of felt that he was rooting for them all along, but actually he wasn't. He was just trying to trap them.
Yeah, and he was like trying to date the mum and everything, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I liked the
Maybe
dad.
I'm thinking of Donald Sutherland in the original Buffy.
Maybe.
Which was an awful film, by the way.
I've never been a big Buffy fan. I never watched any of it.
I much preferred the series to the movie.
Didn't watch it either.
And I like
David
Boreanaz. Like him in SEAL Team.
And Phil used to watch Angel as well. Because that was on in the 90s when he first went out to Saudi, and for a few years, like about 4 years I think it was, he was out there, I was here, I couldn't go out. And then so in those days the TV was really, really restricted for the English channels.
Right.
So he used to watch Buffy and then he used to watch Angel. But when I went out in 99, I was like, I'm not watching this, don't like it. So no, I didn't watch it. It was probably all right.
It was okay. Sometimes it was funny.
Yeah, I like Ujima Flip. What's he called?
Giles.
That's the one. What's the actor called?
Anthony Head.
That's him. I like him.
Coffee advert.
Yeah. He's been in loads of stuff, hasn't he? Yeah. I wonder if he got the nickname with that name. Did you see my name today?
No. Ambitious Beaver. Oh, okay.
I looked
at on Amazon, have you?
I did look at those books, but unfortunately they're only Kindle. You can't get them.
How gutting is that?
I know. It's really disappointing.
Might have to be an A-Books or an eBay search or something.
Yeah, something like that. They might not have ever actually published them.
Well, the lady's reading a hardback version of it in the video that I posted. Because she shows you pictures from the book.
Right. That's really sad. Why can't they have them? Unless they, just don't have them in at the minute, and that's why you can only get the
It
Kindle
might be that
version.
because there's a few things at the moment where you can only order them on Kindle.
That could possibly be it. Maybe you have to have a look on Waterstones because they don't seem to care about their employees very much. There was a rant by
for survival, to be fair, aren't they?
Yeah, there was a rant by one of their employees saying that she didn't feel safe and that they were making her go into work and she didn't feel like she should have to go into work, but if she didn't, she'd lose her job. And it's like, well, unfortunately, it's just absolutely awful at the minute. You either go into work and you putting yourself at risk, but your company's keeping going, or you don't go into work and you're not putting yourself at risk, but your company might go under and you might lose your job anyway.
Yeah, or you might do all that going into work and they still might go under.
Exactly. It's just, you don't know what to do for the best, really, I suppose.
No. Goodness, we're cheery today.
Hmm?
We're cheery.
Oh, we are, aren't we? Let's talk yarn.
Yeah.
What should we talk about? Should we talk about my lovely big cake? Look at this. It's nearly like, it's too small for the band now, but I don't want to take the band off of it.
Well, no, because you'll just end up with a thingy
Mass,
won't you?
yeah, exactly. And I did take it from the middle as well, so it's definitely got no structure. I don't often take my yarn from the middle of a ball.
I don't unless I've caked it myself.
Yeah, it was just the easiest end to find at the time.
Yeah, because on a lot of them, like the big 400 balls Aran, like the special or whatever.
Yeah.
You end up with a massive fistful of yarn bath coming out all at once.
Yeah, sounds about right. So you'll be looking forward to your barbecue?
Well, looking forward to starting the cooking as and when that happens. I think it'll take a while for it to come up to the point where some food can actually be put on it.
I would love some barbecue. I had leftover roast pork from yesterday with just some oven chips and baked beans for my lunch.
Nice. I do like pork.
It was rather nice. It smelt lovely yesterday when it was cooking.
No, it's delicious. It drives the dogs bananas.
Oh, he wasn't a
Oh,
happy bunny. He was crying all morning. The thing is, we're really cruel to them, aren't we? Because they can smell a lot better than we can, and it smells delicious to us. Could you imagine? And you've got no control over whether you can have any of it or not.
They say that they can smell better than we can. But how can any creature smell like a dog does and not notice? And
Yeah,
not be acutely aware of,
maybe they like it though.
the tip.
It's like pheromones, isn't it? Apparently we smell each other's pheromones but don't actually register it. It's probably just like that. They're probably just like, "Oh, you smell so gorgeous, my friend."
Funny, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's going to rain again. We had the sun out when I first started talking to you, and it's gone miserable again.
Yeah, we've still got sun at the front. It's not as bright as it has been, but it's definitely sunny.
I really need to cut my grass.
Oh, bless.
I really
But you don't have to mow it in May.
Why?
I put a post on.
Did you?
It's official guidance. You should leave certain sections of your lawn uncut for the insects and the pollinators. And if you need to cut some of it, fine, but leave some wilderness or wildlifey areas.
I have a wilderness down the side of my garden, which is supposed to be a flower bed, but it's just a mass of God knows what. So they can have that.
Yeah, okay.
But also, I mean, I would love to leave my grass. Absolutely would love to leave it. However, come June, I wouldn't be able to actually cut it because it would be too long. I would need to get the strimmer out, and my strimmer is broken.
Oh, well.
and there's no really going to be in queue at the minute. I mean, I know they're kind of open for click and collect, but I'm, what's the word? I'm a conscientious objector.
Yeah, well, I feel a bit the same way.
Because I feel that
talk about getting some compost and stuff like that, but
for all that I think that it would be nice to maybe get the paint out and do my house or my garden or whatever, I do feel a bit like it's not exactly essential.
no, it's not. I certainly don't think so.
So yeah. So I think I'm just going to have, I've got some pots of veggies that I chopped up. So I'm going to have a pot of veggies, and instead of having 2 slices of toast with peanut butter and jam on, and being a naughty girl for my tea, I'm going to have just 1 slice of toast with peanut butter only, because it's got protein in it, and my pot of veggies, and then I'll have my porridge for my supper.
That'll be nice.
Try and be a good girl. It's beautiful. I love the way that your colour just completely changes when you lift that blanket up and then put it down. Put it right down. It's so funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but never mind. We'll see about getting another camera.
No, I think the camera just loves your blanket.
I think it does.
It's like, I'm in love. And then you hide it and then it goes, and I love you.
One of those things, isn't it? Oh, well, I think it's time for us to finish today.
Yeah, before I start getting depressing and make people just go, oh my God, she just needs to shut up. She does. You know, I just can't be trusted today. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's the cleaning. It's gone to my head. I think tomorrow I need to cut the grass, but really I shouldn't, because I should do something that doesn't put me in a bad mood. Is there one for Toodles? Do you reckon? Toodles. Oh, look. There is. Look. Okay, back. Toodles. Toodles. Was that my big hair today?
I think it was.
I had to hide it away.
Yeah. Right, well, I'm going to start pressing buttons to stop, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, no, we won't see you tomorrow.
We won't see anyone
Monday, are we? We'll see you on